Wait.
Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Beauty from Ashes 1111. I'm Sarina, and today is such a special episode because I'm joined by someone very dear to me, my daughter, my best friend, my biggest teacher, Pluto.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be here. This feels so full circle. We've been through so much, and sitting here together sharing this space with you all is proof that healing is possible.
Absolutely. Today, we want to talk about our journey, not from a place of trauma, but from a place of truth, growth, and connection. Our story might sound like yours, or it might just be what your heart needed to hear.
We are not here to sugarcoat healing. It's not always pretty, it's messy, uncomfortable, and sometimes hurts before it heals, but it's real, and most importantly, it's possible. So, when did you feel like healing really began for you?
For me, healing didn't start with therapy or medication. It started when I realized I had to live for something greater. For you, for your siblings. I didn't want my pain to become your inheritance. What about you?
For me, I think I started to understand that healing isn't just about getting over things, it's about seeing them clearly for the first time. Um, it's about making peace with what happened without pretending it didn't hurt. I always began to understand why you were tired, why some days you couldn't get out of bed, and I stopped taking it personally. Healing for me became about compassion, not just for you, but for the version of myself that had to grow up faster than most. It means choosing softness, choosing growth, choosing to break cycles, not because it's easy, but because we deserve more. It's not about forgetting the pain. It's not about letting it define us anymore. That's what healing looks like to me.
I didn't always get it right. I still don't. But I always came back to love. And I see now that healing for both of us meant seeing each other fully.
And letting go of the idea that we had to be perfect for each other.
All right, my lovelies. So we've shared a little bit about what healing has looked like for us, not just as individuals, but as mother and daughter, learning to reconnect through everything we've been through. But we also know that healing isn't always linear or loud or even obvious. Sometimes it lives in a quiet moments, the questions we were too scared to ask, or the things we wish someone would have said out loud first. So, for this next part, we're going to do something a little different. A question and answer style segment, just us. We've written down some questions for each other, things we've maybe never talked about, or are finally ready to put into words. Some are reflective, some are honest, and some might be a little vulnerable, but that's the point. Our hope is that by hearing this, other moms and daughters might feel encouraged to have these conversations too in their own time and own way.
Okay, so I'm gonna start asking you questions first. When did you first realize our bond was hurting, and how did that make you feel?
I think I realized it was hurting when I saw how much pain you were carrying that I didn't even notice before. I was so overwhelmed trying to survive, trying to cope, that I didn't see how deeply it was affecting you. And when I did, it crushed me. Because no mother wants to be a source of pain to her child. I felt guilty, shame, but mostly heartbreak.
Was it hard for you to look me in the eye during your toughest moments?
Yeah, it was. There were moments I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror, let alone face you. Not because I didn't love you, but because I was afraid of what you'd see. The broken pieces, the mistakes, the exhaustion. But deep down, I think I was most scared of seeing the reflection of how I'd let you down.
What was the moment you knew you wanted to fix things between us?
It wasn't just one moment, it was a build-up. But I remember this day where I watched you just shrink emotionally. And I thought, no, this stops now. I wanted you to see me choosing you, healing for you with you. That's why I started making different choices. I didn't know how to fix it, but I knew I'd rather try and fail than do nothing.
That's beautiful. What made you feel safe to open up to me, not just as your daughter, but as someone you could trust?
Because even in your silence, you never judged me. You observed, you listened, and you were patient in a way that made me feel like I could unfold slowly. You didn't rush my healing. You just stood there, letting me know that I didn't have to go through it alone anymore. And that safety, it brought me back to you.
When I started healing too, did that help you feel closer to me?
100%. It was like watching you bloom gave me permission to do the same. Your strength pulled me into alignment. I felt proud, inspired, and also comforted because I knew we were healing in sync, not separately. And that changed everything.
What was one thing you've learned from me that's helped you grow?
I've learned that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's just whispers. I'm still here. You've taught me how to be present, how to sit in uncomfortable truths, and how to love with boundaries. You made me braver.
How have we surprised you with how strong our bond has grown now?
Every day. There were times I didn't think we'd ever laugh freely again. But now we do. Our bond is rooted in something unshakable. Not just love, but earned love. Grown love that's powerful.
I agree. Is there a moment between us that still plays in your heart, like a memory that proves love never gave up?
There was a day you just hugged me. No words, just tears. I think we both needed that moment of pure love. No conditions. That day healed something deep in me. It was like your heart was saying, I still see you.
Was there something you never said to me before but always felt in your heart?
That I've always admired. Admired you, even when I didn't show it. Even when I was messy, broken, and lost. I always saw your beauty, your fire, and your light. You saved me in ways you never fully understood.
I learned from the best. Do you think we understand each other more now as women, not just mum and daughter?
Definitely. Now I can see you're not just my child, but as a full human being with layers, feelings, your own path. And I think you see me that way too. There's more grace in our relationship now, less judgment, more honesty.
What's one thing you've learned about love from me?
That love isn't just about giving, it's about healing with someone. You've taught me that love can survive storms, but only if we're willing to rebuild together. Love requires honesty, softness, and showing up even when it's hard.
Do you feel proud of the cycle we have broken together?
Ah, so proud. We've broken cycles of silence, pain, and pretending. And we've built something new, a foundation of honesty, compassion, and support. That's legacy. That's freedom, girl.
Damn right. What kind of woman are you proud to have raised?
A warrior with a gentle heart. A woman who speaks truth with love. A woman who chooses not let her pain define her. You're the living proof that healing is possible. Clock that.
Clock it. Has our bond made you feel made has our bond made you a better version of yourself?
You've made me softer and stronger. You've taught me patience, how to listen deeper, how to love without fear. You've made me want to be better, not for show, but for real.
Mm-hmm. What legacy do you want our healing story to leave behind?
I want other moms and daughters to know that even if it's messy, love is never too far gone. Healing is possible. We're proof, innit?
Yep.
I want people to hear our story and believe in second chances and that love, real love, always finds its way home.
Okay, that wraps up all the questions I have for you.
My turn.
Yep.
You ready?
I'm ready to be in the hot seat.
Don't get emotional like me though.
Okay.
So, what was the hardest thing for you as a child watching me go through everything?
The hardest part was feeling everything with you, but not having the words or space to say it. Watching someone you love suffer, someone who's meant to be your safe space. I carried a fear that if you broke, I'd break too. So I stayed strong even when I wasn't okay because I was scared of what would happen if I didn't.
Aw. Was there ever a time you felt like I wasn't emotionally available for you?
Yeah, I understood that you were surviving and I never blamed you, but there were moments when I needed your softness, not just your strength. Times when I wanted you to see my fear or confusion or exhaustion, and I just didn't know how to ask, so I swallowed it, and that silence left a mark.
Sorry, baby. Did you ever feel like you had to be the strong one for me?
All the time, I wasn't just your daughter, I was your mirror, your anchor, and sometimes your shield. I learned how to be emotionally responsible before I even knew what that meant. I held you when I was the one who sometimes needed holding. I loved you through your pain, but sometimes I didn't know how to love myself through mine.
What did you understand about my mental health when you were younger?
When I was younger, most of the time I didn't really have the correct language, but I could feel it. I could feel the heaviness in the room, the subtle shifts in energy. I definitely knew you were hurting even when you smiled, and over time I learned to read you better than I could read myself sometimes. Always watching, always alert. That's how I survived, and that's how I helped you survive.
Wow. Was there a moment when you truly forgave me or saw me differently, not just as a mom, but as a woman?
Yes, definitely when you finally let me in, when you let yourself be soft around me, not just strong, and you finally dropped the facade, I saw the woman beneath the wounds, the mother beneath the mask. And in that moment, I stopped expecting you to be perfect and started seeing you as someone brave enough to face her past. That's when the love became real, not just inherited. And that's when I realized that it was your first time in this world, too.
Aww, I didn't think about it that way. Okay, so how did you learn to protect your own peace while still showing up for me?
um, It took time, definitely, and a few breakdowns. I used to think that love meant self sacrifice because that's what I saw you do. But I realized that I couldn't save you if I was drowning too. I learned to show up for you with open hands, not clenched fists. That meant creating space for my own healing, even while holding yours.
When did you start feeling like we were healing together, not just separately?
Definitely when I finally saw you fighting for yourself, not just fighting through life. When we started praying together, meditating, crying, laughing, all in the same breath. That's when I knew we weren't just surviving anymore, that we were evolving side by side, soul to soul.
So true. Um, what does our bond mean to you today?
It's definitely sacred. It's being tested by trauma, distance, resentment, time, teenage phases, and still it's here. It's not just mother and daughter anymore. I definitely feel like it's become sisterhood, it's friendship, and it's legacy. Our bond is proof that pain doesn't have to win, love can.
Always, girl, always.
Hmm.
Do you think everything we went through made you who you are now?
Definitely. Every single moment shaped me. The nights that I cried in silence, the times I parented when I was still a child, even the resentment I felt towards my siblings because I couldn't understand why their dad showed up and mine didn't. It all taught me empathy, self awareness, and gave me true depth as a person. But I'm not just the product of pain, I am the result of resilience and the choice to become something more.
100%. How was watching me heal influence your own journey and identity as a young woman?
It changed pretty much everything. Your healing gave me permission to heal myself, to heal my inner child. Watching you rise made me believe that women like us, women who were once broken, women who are brave and beautiful inside and out, deserve joy. I saw that spiritual strength isn't just for church, it's for survival. You gave me that gift and I carry it with me daily.
Wow. What would you say to daughters out there who feel responsible for their mom's healing?
Um, I'd say that it's not your job to fix her. Even if you love her with your whole heart, you're allowed to choose yourself, to feel anger, to have needs. Your inner child matters too. Help her if you can, but don't lose you trying to put her back together. If anything, work together and blossom together.
That's beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna go real talk, yeah?
Whew, okay.
Is there something you wish I understood better about how you were feeling back then?
Um, Sometimes I wish you knew how lonely I felt sometimes, how much I craved your comfort but didn't really know how to ask for it. I seemed strong, but I was just surviving. I wish you could have seen through the silence and seen how much I just missed being your little girl, even in times when I would act out.
Hmm. What do you wish moms would hear more from their daughters, especially daughters like you who've had to grow up too fast?
I love you, but I still needed you. We don't say it to blame, we say it because our childhoods were very layered. Sometimes love and pain sit side by side. We need space to grieve the parts that we lost and celebrate the bonds we rebuilt.
Wow. Well, I love you.
I love you more.
What kind of mother would you want to be one day based on our story?
Um, Definitely a mother who listens with her heart, who knows her wounds but doesn't let them bleed onto her children. I want to be emotionally present, spiritually grounded, and honest about the hard stuff too. Because I know healing is generational and I want to raise love, not only survival.
Wow. And you are going to become that mother.
Amen.
What one message would you give to mom and daughters who feel disconnected right now?
Honestly, just start talking, even if it's messy, even if you cry. The silence is really where the pain grows, but the truth, that's where healing begins. You don't have to figure it all out in one conversation. You really just have to start.
Wow, this has been an emotional roller coaster. This is really been helpful,
Mm-hmm.
and from our hearts to yours, thank you for joining us on this journey. Whether you're a mom, daughter, or someone just trying to heal, we see you, we love you, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Beauty from Ashes 1111. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.